What's up, guys? Welcome to a new show, a new conversation. Hello, it's your girl Diamond from the Voices Gathering Live podcast. It's time to have a conversation. Hello, how's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. I cannot wait to tell you about how my week has been, and definitely can't wait to hear from you guys about how your week has been. Okay. See, I still got some work to do with this thing, but anyhow, hello, welcome to a conversation. I am so glad to have this conversation with you guys here. Let me jump right into it because we like to be on time. That way, I'm not holding you long, but you're getting something worth your while. House rules. Hello. Patricia, nice to see you. House rules. If you are walking into this room virtually, I'm asking that you grab a seat, grab your favorite cocktail beverage, a cup of tea, coffee, whatever it may be. Also, remember, use your key to the conversation. Your key is clicking the like button. If you enter into the room, always use your key. Click the like button and say hello. All of that clicking, liking, and sharing tells me that you're here and you're supporting, and it also massages this program, and it allows those individuals on the back end to know what we're getting ready to do and how we're doing as it relates to podcasting. So please always use your virtual key. It's so important to the process. Every week the show is airing. If I'm not here, that means you missed the message. So please be a follower by following the website at www.voicesgathering.com. www.voicesgathering.com. If you want to email me, you can email me at diamond@voicesgathering.com. Very easy. How you can support this show, I just told you. Share, subscribe, like, and say hello if you're not indulging in a deep conversation with me via the chat. You're not only talking to me, but you're also talking to each other until we're doing something more virtual, and I can't wait to tell you about that in just a moment. Also, you can support the show by getting yourself some merchandise. Okay. Oh, wait till you just see. So we got merchandise. I got some t-shirts for you. We got new t-shirts coming out with different slogans on them and the show logo. We have beautiful mugs. I'm going to just show you really quickly. Here are some mugs. These are blinged out. They're very colorful. Of course, you can't really see all the colors on the camera. Blinged out mugs. Some for the girls. Even we got some for the guys. Blinged out gold crown for the guys. We have so many different mugs. And yes, the mugs are done personally by me. I do them all. They're not purchased by anyone. I'm not sending them to some place to get them going. I am the one who's creating the mugs personally for you. So you will be able to check the website and see what the mugs and t-shirt costs. I want you to start using the website to see what I'm doing because I'm really growing a brand here. I'm not just here with a hobby. I'm creating a business. So your support by all these avenues will be very much appreciative. I can't wait for you to hear this. So I'm going to tell you. The show is virtual, but in the near future, this show will be on podcasting radio, where that means you don't have to always miss the show here. Keep coming to the show. You don't have to miss the show. You can actually be able to listen to the show through Anchor. This is a website that is like iHeartRadio, iTunes. The show is going to be growing, and it is growing. So you'll be able to listen to your podcast show. Hopefully this becomes one of your favorite podcast show on your radio, on your computer, wherever you get your podcasting from. So stay linked to the show. I'm going to be having guests. I am in the process of auditioning, interviewing different co-hosts who really have that it factor, the it factor that they can engage in a conversation, be a speaking voice about the topic, and actually support growing this platform while sharing their voice. So we got a lot of things going on, and I'm hoping that you will stay connected, involved, and supportive. Now, with all of that out of the way, hello again and welcome to a good conversation. This conversation is deep. And hello to everyone who said hello to me. Shout out to Naomi, Patricia. I know that Rob is here. He's always here. So I'm going to shout him out before he pops in. And to everyone else who's coming to the conversation, welcome. So I wanted to have a conversation with you. A two-way conversation, right? This conversation, oftentimes, people are looking at other people. And this conversation will allow people to look at others, but most importantly, look at themselves. I want to have this conversation with you about which mask do you wear? So as you saw very much in the intro here, which mask do you wear? Hi, Dawn. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to see you here as well. And thank you so much for following the show on. Oh, thank you for reminding me that. Thank you, Dawn, because I believe Dawn is the only person that really is involved in the conversation on the show as it relates to following the show on. Yes. Thank you, Patricia. I know. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Following the show also on Facebook. So this show is always posted on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course where you're at YouTube. And I want to shout out that we're growing slowly, but we're moving the engine that could. We have 307 subscribers to the channel. We could do much more. I'm looking to already be at 1,000. So I'm going to say by June, I hope to have 500 plus subscribers, and by the end of the year, 1,000. And I can achieve that goal with your help. Share it, people. I'm not afraid of saying what I'm saying, so share it. Now, also, I want to shout out to the community on Instagram. The Instagram channel platform has got 6,281 followers. 6,281 followers. And I've posted 490 content, 92 content to be exact. That's amazing. Now it's about teaching and showing those people to come on over to YouTube. But this show will be airing its weekly show also on Instagram. And we are also on TikTok. Yes, we are. So we are doing it. And thank you so much for those who are cheering me, supporting me. It's what's needed to grow. Now that I got all those happy things out of the way, getting back to the conversation, I want to have a conversation with you. I want you to take a minute to look at you, the people you've become in contact with, and the people that are connected to you by some force. Many times we enter relationships not knowing who we truly are or who the people in those relationships are. And do you know why that is? It's because oftentimes we enter into relationships wearing masks. We tend to put on masks to present ourselves a certain way so that the receiver will receive that message. But there's a group of people, you may be one of those individuals, you may not be one of those individuals, who wear a mask, but that's not who you truly are. Check it now. Many of us go to jobs that we're truly unhappy at. What do? We wear a mask to earn the check. Many of us get into relationships with significant others, friends, associates. Why? Because we truly are afraid of being alone. People actually allow themselves to be in very unhealthy relationships. They put on the mask to just get by. But when the person leaves, i.e. go home, or the relationship dissolves, the marriage is over, whatever it may be, the person, you or the other person, at some point have to take off the mask. And what's under the mask is the true you. It's the true you. That is who you truly are. We all wear masks. We all do. The danger with this is when we don't know we're wearing the mask and why we're wearing it. That's the problem. Think about it. How many people do you come in contact with that wear a mask and you didn't know it at first, but all of a sudden they started acting brand new? They did a twist on you. Like, who is that? Who is that? You're asking yourself that question and you're trying to say, well, who is it? I don't recognize the person. Well, you don't recognize the person because when you enter into that relationship with that individual, they were always wearing a mask. Or you were wearing a mask. Therefore, you couldn't see the true image of what was in front of you because you had a mask on. Process that. I see Bennett. Hello, I'm waving back at you. Sorry if I don't recognize the name, but I am hoping that you are a subscriber to the channel. And you'll keep coming back. I see 6 people in this room and I see 3 keys that have been used. Please use your key, which is the like button, the thumbs up button. Click it. That's your key to this conversation. So again, process that. Process it. How many people today you crossed in conversation and you truly ask yourself right now, I don't really know that person. And here's another question for you. Why would you not want to know the person you interact with often? And truth be told, many of us enter into relationships, conversations with individuals on our job who we truly don't want to know. We don't care to know who they are. We don't want to know who they are. We're just there to do a job. Do you understand that not getting to know the individual that is on your job and your circle, you're doing yourself a disservice? You are moving in this space with people you don't really know. So here's a question. Should we know the individuals that we often interact with? That's a question I'm asking you. I'm looking to see you guys post something. Should we know the people that we interact with? What do you think? Yes or no? Hello, Donna. Welcome to the conversation. Should we? Because I believe we should know. Now, there's a difference in knowing someone and knowing someone. So let me break that down, right? I know my significant other. I know my family members. Now, people change day in, day out, but I know them. I have a more intimate relationship with them. Oftentimes when we go to work, we don't have that intimate relationship with all the people we work with. Now, there's people, and let's be very clear. There's a lot of people who do not have intimate relationships on their jobs. Don't let your mind drift off to intimate relationships, meaning intimacy. No. Intimate relationships are intimacy. Intimacy that I'm a team player. Intimacy that I am someone that you can talk to. Intimacy that I would show up and be a part of the team process. That's intimacy, not intimacy. And a lot of people I talk to don't even know what that means. They don't. They don't know what intimacy means. So, how could you work with someone and you don't have an intimate relationship with them? I'm not talking about this as a spot job, like you go once every 6 months. No, I know I report to the same location weekly, 5 days a week. I'm someone who often do not take off. And I don't know a lot of those people at my job. I don't. And I would tell you, for the most part, in all honesty, true transparency, I do want to know the people at my job. I want to know what kind of team system I'm a part of. So I don't enter into that workspace I'll leave it at that workspace wearing a mask. Because I understand that I would be doing myself a disservice. And I'm going to use an example and help you understand what I mean by that. Have you ever walked into or been a part of a project or worked at a job and you've been there for some period of time and all of a sudden you're bumping head with somebody there? Now, have you ever found yourself being able or trying to get to know the person in that relationship or, I'm sorry, at that job? But that individual keeps a long arm. They don't too much get involved. They like, oh, this is what I need and that's it. I'm sure we all know someone like that. I like to enter to relationships, workspace relationships, getting to know the people I'm part of a team of. Not such people are identified by the department they work in. I should know that individual's name. I don't need to know their birthday. I don't need to know if they're married or not. But I should know their name. I should know what kind of worker they are because I know what part of the team that I can rely on. And in return, they know how they can rely on me. I want you to really think about what I'm saying, people, because I'm telling you as a counselor who work with people and see many personalities at work, out of work, in personal relationships, out of personal relationships, I really see a lot of people don't have any clue who they are because they're so afraid of allowing people to see who they are. They continue to wear the filter mask, presenting who they truly do not want you to know. And I get it. The mask is a protection. But why do we wear the mask of protection all the time? When is it appropriate to take the mask off so people can know who you truly are? I'm going to do some self-disclosure on this conversation because I think it warrants that. Yes, Donna, you agree with me. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Naomi, you agree. Naomi, you said, I read a book over 15 years ago called Why Am I So Afraid to Tell You Who I Am? Interesting title. The premises of the book was that we wear a different mask for different people and different situations and relationships. Absolutely, Naomi. And thank you for sharing that book here in this conversation. It is one that I'm going to look at, check out, because how can you trust me if you don't know me? How could you put your trust in me to even do the smallest of tasks or a great task if you don't know who I am? And again, I like what Naomi described about this book because you getting to know me requires the relationship we have. At work, you need to know what kind of worker I am. You need to know that I am dependable. I am reliable. I'm trustworthy with the tasks that you give me. You need to know that. You need to be able to feel comfortable in that, knowing that when I give her this assignment, I can take my hands off in it because she's got it. I know what kind of worker she is. People hire people all the time trying to fill positions and not know who they're filling the position with. Dangerous. You see businesses collapse. You see betrayal collapse. You see people abuse on the job. You see microaggression on the job. You see all of these different things. Why? Because people don't get to know people. Now, this is not just about the person wearing the mask, but it's also the person who's looking at the person with the mask. Do you create an atmosphere for the person who is wearing a mask with you? And you know they're wearing a mask because all you got to ask yourself is, do I know this person in a way that I should? And according to this relationship, whatever the relationship is, do I know this person? Am I often scratching my head asking, well, what do they do? How are they going to show up? Can they handle this? Is this too much for them? When you're asking yourself those questions, that means you don't know the person you are interacting with. Self-disclosure, as I stated before, I have, for the most part, entered into relationships with a mask off. It's true. I've entered into relationships with a mask off. Why? Because I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that when I enter into these relationships, whatever the relationship is, you need to know who I am. You do not need to later say to me, oh, you got brand new. Oh, you acting funny. Oh, I didn't know this about you. You did, because I introduced myself in that manner. There are people who cannot take that. They cannot take your true transparency. They can't take that you don't wear a mask. They want you to wear a mask. Why? Because it makes them feel comfortable. That's why. They need you to put on the mask so that they can continue to operate from the position in which they're operating from. I kid you not. Take time to look at your relationships and then take this information I'm sharing today in this show and then think about it. We wear masks because we're afraid of being hurt. We're afraid that if you see me, you wouldn't like me. You would not accept how I'm coming across. You wouldn't understand my stance, my position. You just wouldn't understand it. So it would be better for me to wear the mask that makes you comfortable. That's bad. That's truly, truly bad and very unhealthy. Now, when you wear this mask, whatever mask it is, and then all of a sudden you switch the mask, the person who's so used to you wearing a certain mask is now like, whoa, what's up with that? Why are you coming off like that? Why? Because they didn't know who you were. They didn't want to know, or you didn't allow them to know. I'm curious to those who are in the show today. How many of you have been in a relationship of any sort and you felt that you needed to wear a mask? I'm just going to ask that question right now. How many of you? Diamond, Pastor Sam here. What obligation am I under to share identity with a coworker? As a professional, I arrive daily to fulfill my professional purpose. My business beyond this is mine and becoming. Familiar should be complete voluntarily. Are you saying personal disclosure is personal courtesy? Okay, very good question. And hello, Pastor Sam. Lord, we got to get you a no mask on it. Pastor Sam, we got to get you your own ID name. But anywho, so getting to the question, and I like to break this question down. What obligation am I under to share identity with a coworker? Well, first, Pastor Sam, what do you mean identity? Identity in this day is could be broad for many people. So I need you to tell me what you mean as far as identity. As a professional, I arrive daily to fulfill my professional purpose. My business beyond this is mine and becoming. Okay, so yes, when I say sharing or allowing someone to get to know you, again, situational relationships play a part in this. So at work, are you going to work talking about your 3 kids and your wife and how many dogs you have and you went to lunch on this place? No. Or you could. That depends on you and the person in the relationship. And also, it's reciprocal that, you feel comfortable, or the person will feel comfortable sharing what they feel comfortable sharing with the person they feel that they can trust sharing it with. So I have personal relationships at my job. Can I count on both hands how many? No, absolutely not. Because I know it's situational and I understand what is the main reason, the purpose why I am sharing this information. Self-disclosure goes beyond just the workplace. Self-disclosure with your own personal information is also something we ought to be careful about when we're sharing it. Because what is the purpose of it? But I do Pastor Sam, enter into relationships not wearing a mask. I don't have any obligation at first, but other than to show up and be me. But many people on jobs do not do that. It's been my experience. Now, some of you may have had a different experience where people showed up to work and they were just giving or not giving. But that's not always been my experience. I've entered at some point in my career, putting on a mask, showing people that, let me rephrase that, putting on a mask and protecting me because I don't know the individuals. And as I get to know them, I start to reveal the face, the person behind the mask. My mask should be corporate, right? I am ethically a representative of a company. This outline in my duty. Yes. And Pastor Sam, I absolutely get it. I get it. And many people live behind the corporate mask. My job is just to come here and do a job. And that's why we have difficulty in relationships, because people are walking by the outline that this is a corporate job, no fraternizing, no nothing. But then they ask the question of why is it that why the morale is low? Why don't people have healthier relationships at work? We spend most of our time with people at work than we do with our family if you have a career job. Right? And those individuals at the job, for the most part, don't know each other. Why? Because they put on a mask and afraid of allowing people to know them. You're going to tell my business. So I don't necessarily agree with you, Pastor Sam, when it comes to the relationship, taking down the mask, the relationship exchange with people who work together. Very much at the job. I am still my brother's keeper on the job. On my job. If I see someone and oh my gosh, I just had a situation, a self-disclosure. And it's not just women. Men do the same thing too. But I have worked in an environment where it's a lot of women. And I know that I have been part of a gossiping pool of women. And there have been men that have been a part of that conversation too. So it's not just a sexist thing. And these people didn't really know me because they didn't want to get to know me. And I mean get to know me with, if you come in the morning and I look at you and I'm greeting you with a hello or a friendly smile or something, and you absolutely turn your head to avoid the contact, you don't want to know me. Now, who's wearing the mask in that? I get that whole thing about it's a corporate job. Nothing on the application says that when you go to work, you're going to have these personal relationships with people. But that is the problem, that many jobs are filled with people who are not willing to have a healthy, respectful employee relationship in the way that it's reciprocal in respect. It is not you wearing a mask, so you don't want to ask me anything that will help you do your job, because the mask that you are wearing, or the mask you believe I'm wearing, is prohibiting, you from interacting in that relationship. Again, self-disclosure. There was a woman at my job who was always complimenting me, and I don't need compliments. It's nice to receive them because I give them often. People are like, oh, your shoes is better than hers. We're not talking about my shoes. We're talking about her shoes and her bag. And she's wearing those shoes and bag. I am so confident. I'm not afraid to acknowledge another woman's outfit, her hair, whatever it is about her, and pay a compliment. I'm not threatened by that. But there are some women who wear masks that are threatened. They cannot give you a compliment to save their life. Why? Because they are afraid of revealing who they truly are, or afraid to see who you truly are. Let's see. And Pastor Sam, if you're, and because of the name Pastor Sam, you are a pastor. Now, the same question. What do you think your role should be when it comes to the people at a church wearing a mask? What do you think? The same principle, but now as a leader, a shepherd of a flock. How would that apply to your position? Because when you think about the 9 to 5 job and people go to work, are people really invested in people's feelings and personalities at work? Maybe there's some and maybe they're not. I don't want to speak as if I know across the whole spectrum that no, people are not in a position or care to be in a position at a job of caring about other people's feelings. But then there's some people who take on jobs such as motivational speakers, yoga coaches, and all those other wellness teachers who are about the people in that space and helping people reveal who they truly are and getting to the core of who they are so that they can show up and be their better authentic self. Them suck as can get morale at home. Did I miss it? I'm sorry. I found giving too much often backfires and people take advantage of intimacy. I agree. I agree. But oftentimes people are walking into those relationships with that already. That's their mask. So they don't try. What they do is stand in the corner at the water cooler, wherever they are, judging what they don't know because of the fear of it. I've been there. Diamond, don't get too close. And what I mean about close is I'm talking about in the workspace, close is very much, hello, how are you? For some people, that's too close. That's absolutely too close. You too close, don't speak to me. I mean, there's people at a job I go to today, don't want you to speak to them. And I was in a part of a disclosure, this woman who used to compliment me all the time. And I used to be like, hey, how you doing? And not waiting for her to come. I would say, how you doing? Speak to her. Good morning. How are you? And, yada, yada. Have a great day. And all of a sudden, she wasn't speaking to me. She would just cold shoulder. This is just one of many people, or a few people. Let me not say many. And just cold shoulder me. And I was like, I took a pause in the inventory, like, what did I do? Did I say something? Was it something that I did not do that I said I was going to do? What could I have done to contribute that reaction? So I tried to engage the person more. And I noticed the person was with a group of people or a person who they don't speak to me at all. And I was like, Diamond, don't you make this about you. This has nothing to do with you. This totally has to do with the other person. Don't you get sucked up into that, making you go crazy thinking that, well, what have I done? Because I need to rectify the situation. I'm not trying to be anything that will cause that reaction. This last week, it came to a head and this person needed my services or my support in something. And I made myself available right away. Got the phone call right away. I left my office, went down to where this individual was, and they knew I was coming down because someone told them I was coming, but they got on the elevator. And when I got to a certain spot, the elevator was closing. And I'm like, wait, what? So I immediately ran back to where my office is and waited for the elevator door to open. And I immediately was like, wait, did you not see me? Did you not see me downstairs? And the person gave me the reason to what happened. And part of me was struggling to accept that that was what happened, i.e. the elevator closed before they can stop it from closing. And they were going to come right back down. Although when I saw them exiting the elevator, so I didn't really believe that, but nevertheless. And I can immediately tell, as soon as we're talking, the temperature in the voices of mine and hers was on defense. And I just did not wait. I immediately called it what it was. I said, I need to call this out now. And I pointed out, I've noticed that this has been happening for some time, and I'm not aware what caused it. And the person started giving me their point of view about it. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I know nothing about what you're talking about at all. The end of this story is I said, well, listen, to avoid tension, let's have your supervisor, my supervisor, just meet and the two of us so that we can have a mediator in this conversation, because it would be what you're saying and what I'm saying. And in between the conversations, somebody's truth is lying there. Someone is right there. And as we continue to talk about it, I just started telling the person, and the person started telling me what they were thinking in their head, which I had no clue about at all. And then I found myself getting into the position of defending something I didn't know. And the person eventually apologized. I didn't need it, but thank God it happened. And not only did they apologize, I apologized to them, because I may have been unaware of something, i.e., maybe this should have been addressed earlier by me. I tend to, when people don't want to be bothered, I don't force myself on them. I give them give them their space. I understand the true essence of respecting someone's boundaries. I do not force myself on people to have that relationship. I keep myself open so if the person wants to have a relationship with me without me wearing a mask that makes them comfortable, let's have it. Let's have it. For whatever that relationship's supposed to be, let's have that. But do not expect me to wear a mask to make you feel comfortable, because I'm not going to do that. It doesn't matter who you are, what your position is, I'm not doing that. Because at the end of the day, when Diamond looks in the mirror, she's stuck with herself. And she must say, were you your true self? Or were you putting on a front to make someone else comfortable? And I don't walk by those principles. I don't. And you don't have to be nasty about it, i.e. me. I don't have to cut you off at the knee. No, I have to respect the lane that you are creating. Sidebar. Hello, Aaliyah. Welcome to the show. I now know who you are. I'm glad you are here. Hope you'll keep coming back, and I hope you're enjoying the conversation. So that's my thing. And I see that Pastor Sam said something else. So I want to... he's a good conversationalist. Let's see. Okay. Church is a fellowship. I cannot. I'm sorry. Now, people know that this is showtime. And then when they constantly keep calling, you wonder, like, isn't it an emergency? So I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. I apologize. Oh, come on. Boy. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I was reading Pastor Sam's feedback, and he says, church is a fellowship. My answer would be completely different in the context with loving community of believers. I can process many. Oh, Lord. I can process that many ways. So hopefully, Pastor Sam, you and I can touch about that, because it would probably be a little bit much for me to really break down the way you mean it. But thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. I just, and with that, wherever I go, whether it be my church, with my family, in relationships with co-workers, my friends, I understand that, Diamond, you need to show up according to what the situational relationship that you're in right now. So the way I would show up with my significant other, I'm not showing up like that person with my colleagues, I understand the place by which I'm at and the people that I'm in this relationship with. But therefore, whether it is marriage, friends, church, I'm not wearing a mask to make you comfortable. And I believe that it's my job to show up and allow you to get to know me so that you know what you can get from me. Too many people right now wear too many masks and you don't know who they are. And when they take that mask off, you're asking, well, who are you? Where have you been all this time? And I've even seen that in the church. And not just my church, I've seen it in many churches. So I want to process that. Thank you so much, Pastor Sam, for sharing that, because I want to marinate on that as it relates to you talking about you. And then again, I've been on your show, which is a fabulous show, and I love it. As you can see, I'm often there in the at the show on Wednesdays, but I've been on the show, so I know that you are one to teach us and share with us. So hopefully you can share a little bit more about that with me later. Naomi, I get sick to my stomach when someone gets upset with me for whatever reason. Okay, we tend to personalize things that we have nothing to do with us, and get offended when others behave and say certain things. I absolutely get you, Naomi. And Naomi, I love her transparency because I know Naomi outside of the show, and she is a caring person of people's feelings and emotion. Now, don't get it twisted. She will call you out about something that she needs to, but she'll tend to absorb and, allow people to share, and sometimes I'm like, okay, I get it, and that's enough for me, and I respect where you are. But absolutely, I get it. You're absolutely right, Naomi. Thank you for sharing that. I just think that we need to not wear masks. I think, let me put it this way. I think we need to learn how to reveal who we are truly and not be obligated or feel obligated to wear masks that help other people accept us, like us, bring us into the foe. I also think that we must learn how to take off the mask that we oftentimes wear so that we can know who we truly are to ourselves. Many people, look, again, going back to this thing, social media is full of mask wearing people. And I'm not talking about COVID-19 masks. I'm talking about masks that hides who they truly are. Many of these masks are their body, showing their body. If I show you this body, you're going to like me, you're going to love me, you're going to want me. Instead of me just covering up and allowing you to get to know me so you'll want me that way. Adorning ourselves with all kind of materialistic things, i.e. Clothes, jewelry, hair, driving certain cars, living in certain homes. We adorn our lives with that so that we could be accepted by the external people. Instead of focusing on what's more important, are we truly happy? You can't show up to any position on a job when you faking the funk on the other side of the fence. You walk by, breathe by the mask. It's just true. And all of us, I'm sure, every one of you in this conversation can look around your circle and be like, oh, that person's wearing a mask. They're wearing a mask. They're wearing a mask. You need some tips to figure out, is that person this way with this person that way with this person this way with that person this way? The diagnosis would be personality disorder. And don't get me wrong, we can't give everybody everything. Which I will reference Pastor Sam's comment that, the obligation to go into work. No, you're not going to work talking about everybody from your lineage of family to the new hiree. No, absolutely not. But are you getting to know that person for who they are, creating a space for them and you so that you can know who you are working with? Or is it just your job to, the application says, go to work, punch a clock, do this within that time frame, punch out, and go home? And for some people that works. And if it works for you, it works for you. I would like to know that the person I work with is trustworthy. They're going to show up and do what they say they're going to do. That's me knowing that I can vouch that the person's trustworthy and they're going to show up and do what they say they're going to do. Yes, absolutely. In my family circle, I want to know that the person in my family network is trustworthy. I can rely on them. They're dependable. Don't say you're dependable, but you're not. You're going to show up, but you don't. You're going to be responsible and pay back your debt, but you don't after I loaned it to you. Like, no, I want to know who I'm loaning my money to or driving hours away to go support. I want to know that person. My friends, I do not use that word loosely. I don't. I have a lot of acquaintances, many. Having been someone who had worked in the modeling industry, who had worked with in the entertainment field with R&B singers all the way from Whitney Houston, Aaliyah, Mary J. Blige. I've done a lot of work. And at that work, a lot of the people in the entertainment world wear masks. I knew going in very young and watching other people, because I'm a sit back person and watch. If it's tall, a long neck, it fights with its neck, it can stand taller than trees, the likelihood it's a giraffe. It's not a turtle. People just what they are. Now, I say, Diamond, do you want to get to know that person? Well, you got to allow them to know who you are. I.e., you got to just allow them to know it's okay to get to know you. Present that. Open up that opportunity. Now, if they close the door and say, oh, no, ma'am, I don't want to know you. Well, I'm not going to force me on them. Know the relationships you're in. Know that you are or are not wearing a mask in your life. And if you are, I strongly encourage you to pray, get therapy, find a safe place so that you can start peeling back the mask that you wear. So that when you show up for you, you are showing up truly who you are and not what people want you to be. That is the show today. That's what I got for you. Which mask do you wear? Okay. Well, I love the conversation. I love it. I love it. Food for thought. If it was good, eat from the plate. If it was not, leave the plate there. Yes. Thank you for confirming that, Naomi. It's true. I will take and maybe Naomi will confirm this as well. I'm not coming in with the mask. No. No, I don't care what your position is. I'm not wearing a mask for you. I'm not. It's not going to happen. Don't even think. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to do that. You're never going to be able to go to the water cooler or talk to yourself or whatever you do and say, well, who was that? You'll never have to ask that. Never. Not with me. I want you to get to know me so you know what you're going to get from me and whatever that situation or relationship is. I just want that. I absolutely want that. And I want that for you. If you don't want it, I respect that. But I want that people can be themselves without wearing a mask. Now, don't forget, this show is on... Oh, Diane. Let me say hi, Diane. Girl, you are killing it in the pictures. Absolutely always beautiful. I can't wait till we catch up. Let me see. This was a wonderful, true conversation for so many I know, and I will share this engagement with others. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Diane. You are unapologetic yourself. Take it or leave it. Absolutely, Naomi. Absolutely. I love when you guys talk back to me. Pastor Sam, thank you so much. I always enjoy your conversations. And for me, I know there's a respect because you would have not invited me on your show a couple of times if there was not. So I receive it. I appreciate it. And I will be processing what you share like everyone else's comment. Everyone, have a wonderful rest of your week. This week is Social Workers Week. So to all my social workers out there in the world, happy Social Worker Week. I wish you the best. Thank you for your service and what you do for our people in the community. It is greatly appreciated. And to all you, my viewers, please come back same time, same beautiful channel here on Mondays at 6 p.m. having a conversation with me. Thank you so much and all the best. I want you all to be well. And remember, I can't do this alone. It takes a team to move this machine. Bye.